So we're going to fast travel back to Kuttenberg. We are going to have to get a bed at some point soon. We're down to 50% restedness, which I don't think we've been that low before. You've run into a guard who's trying to arrest you for your crime. Oh boy. We try fleet? Did it work? It worked.
God bless. There you are.
Oh. Okay, he's coming after. Hold on. 1 second. We need to. We're gonna have to talk our way out of this. I think this is from all the stealing that we've been doing. Shoot, we need to throw anything that's stolen onto our horse. Although that mace, a lot of this stuff is from the place we just came from. I'm gonna put it on just in case, on the horse just in case. But I don't think they would notice that because it's not from here. The armorer's kits are from here, so we'll throw those. Anything with the red hand is something we stole from here. We're also gonna want to put our perfume on, I think. Dude, it's a good thing we got this new horse. There were a few pieces of armor that we didn't put over. Henry's Mintha or Lion? Strong Lion. Let's use that. Okay. How you doing, sir? What's going on? How can I help you? I surrender.
I've got it in for you, scum. You've been loitering around where you shouldn't have. And I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft.
Just because I'm loitering doesn't mean I did it.
If I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
Okay, committing crimes has consequences. If you get caught by the guards, they'll want to punish you. You then have several options. You can pay the fine, accept the punishment, convince the guard, or run away. You can get pillory, which is spending a few days in the pillory. Caning, to take a toll on your health and make you weaker for some time. Branding, where people will treat you like a criminal. Or execution, which means your run is over and your game is over. So we've got pillory as punishment, 903 coin fine, groschen fine. I mean, we can't afford that, but he said we had to repay the stuff that we stole, which we wouldn't be able to afford that. That's like 30,000 groschen. I'm gonna go with this.
Utter nonsense, all of this. You're keeping me from an important mission.
Look at
You'll
the
have
people
to
in the
answer to the
background.
nobility for this.
Oh, I apologize, my lord. I must have made a mistake. Let's just forget about this.
And just like that, we're good to go? I mean, I think we lost some reputation with the people, but I love how everyone just got their noses into it. Okay, we're going to go give this book to Rosa. I'm not going to lie, that was extremely fortunate there. Also, I didn't see that we had any of Henry's lion. So we're going to have to make some more of that eventually, but we're back. These guys might not like us because we looted all the bodies after the last fight, and some people were getting...
Always glad to see polite people like you. God be...
Just kidding, they're happy
I'll be with
us.
you.
Excuse me.
Yep, excuse you, bro. So Rosa should be upstairs. Right where we left her. How you doing, Rosa?
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favorite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through
She
the
absolutely
fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So it's
By
a
the
joke
way,
book, right?
Did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
Well, the author doesn't spare anyone. I wonder if he holds anything at all sacred.
I didn't read the book
Sure
at all.
he does. Courage, honor, loyalty. But others have already written enough about those. A writer is interested in what lies beneath the gilded veneer of orderliness and piety, because it's much more interesting.
Hold on. Who wrote this then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
I mean, I don't want to insult her.
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another
I don't want to be
life,
too...
I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in
I really
equal
should have read
parts.
this book.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take
gosh.
careful notes of everything.
I mean, if
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
more in touch with
All
our
right,
feminine side.
A woman, then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
That she's pretty, clever, or courageous. I feel like she really... Pretty's not the answer. I feel like she really likes being clever. I feel like courageous is kind of cool too.
Well, I admire courage in
heroine.
girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them. But they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that? Tell me about her.
She's got red hair, and her name is Clara, Catherine, Teresa from the Mill and Ratai. Your boy's got way too many options.
How could I not? After all, I'm looking at her.
You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking.
Well, nobody's perfect.
She did
But in
shoot
my
that guy with the
opinion,
crossbow.
You're certainly brave.
Enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
For someone else, that's more meritorious. For herself, that's more important. For someone else.
Make her brave for someone she loves. That's much more commendable than if she were only thinking of herself.
Yeah.
You can't disagree with that. And to make things a little more interesting, the love will be secret and forbidden. Because forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest.
Oof. You're waiting for Rosa to finish your story.
Well, just about finished.
Finished
Well,
with what,
Let's have a
ma'am?
look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A knight in shining
picture.
armor?
I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch. Especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs. But not much. Like you're lazing around.
Paint me like one of your French
That doesn't
girls.
sound too bad.
Okay, we just killed it. Henry! Come on, man. All the sex appeal just left the room. I'm gonna try this on Chels. Oh, he's looking at his nails. Oh, look at my cuticles.
Well,
The silence
now
is
we're
deafening.
done.
Finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward.
Oh boy. Wedding toasts. Unfortunately, I don't know the bride, so I can't congratulate her groom. And knowing the groom too well, neither can I congratulate the bride. On innocence. A young man tenderly embraces his beloved and asks, "Am I your first lover by any chance?" "Could be," she replies. "I thought I'd seen you somewhere before." Thinking is not knowing. A certain Kuttenberg gentleman once visited an old charlatan and wanted to know his fate. The charlatan examined his palm and carefully said to him, "I see you were the father of 2 children. You're mistaken," he shook his head. "I'm the father of 3. It is you who are mistaken," smiled the charlatan. Interesting. Wait, is this Repent Adams? A widower. Oh, this. Oh, okay. So this is the one that we just worked on right here. A widower remarried. Once upon a time, there was a rich old burgher in Kuttenberg. He had been widowed long ago, but he was not so old that he wanted to live alone. So he married a maid who served him. She was a simple, poor girl, but prettier than any noblewoman and twice as clever. The old widower did not know that. It was not enough for him to enjoy the sight of his wife during the day, and once in a while to enjoy her in the evening. He had no idea that the girl had eyes for his young groom more than him. So when her husband did not want to enjoy her in the evening, she hurried to the stables to see the groom who slept there. One day, however, she forgot that her husband had an important journey early in the morning. What a surprise it was to both partners enter the stable at dawn. Instead of a horse, he found a saddled groom and his own wife in the saddle. What a scream! The husband called her a harlot and was about to go to the town bailiff to get justice. His wife, however, did not just give in. She stood in his way and said, "Before you go complaining about me, think, have I ever been unkind to you? When you asked me to come to you for the evening to please you, did I ever refuse?" "Never," the old man admitted. "You always came to me as I asked." "Have I ever been stingy, unwilling, or cold to you? I refused to give you what you wanted from me." "No," he repeated, more modestly now. "You always gave me everything I asked for. So tell me, what was I supposed to do with what was left? Feed it to the pigs? Lock it in a chest and throw away the key? After all, isn't it better to please another man who loves me? It doesn't take away from what's rightfully yours." The husband felt ashamed at the words and had to admit that his wife was right. I mean, this isn't very good.
So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
If I'm being honest, but listen, you want to tell girls what they want to hear.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's
Again,
pretty, really.
Tell them what they want to hear.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
It's bad advice. Be honest.
I know I'm no master
But not when you're trying to get
illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help.
I haven't been satisfied
I
yet.
really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I.
Ooh. I kind of like playing it coy, but I don't know between these.
And for that matter, you're an interesting girl. I'd like to get
See,
to know
that
you
seems a little bit
better.
too forward.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it would be enlightening for both
We should have
of
been a
us.
little bit more coy there, but I
Perhaps
think
can
that
show you
worked.
my collection of hunting trophies.
Collection of hunting trophies? Do I talk to her now?
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, lady know-it-all. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship.
Oh, so we can hire her kind of like the
what would you
blacksmiths
like?
and stuff. We can learn scholarship and marksman. I don't think I want to do either of these right
Maybe
now. I don't
another
think
time.
that's related to our side quest here. Okay, yeah, sometimes you got to play it coy. You gotta walk away. You can't just stay there the whole time. So we're gonna see you later, Rosa. We'll come back sometime. We don't have any side mission from her, right? No, we want to go find math. Oh no, we don't want to do that yet. We want to do this. King's Gambit. So we've planted the seed. You just got to let it grow. You can't be, watering it too much. You don't want to drown the plant. We're just going to let her think about what just happened, and we'll hopefully come back here later. So we need to sleep. We're exceptionally tired now, and I remember the guy, the spy that we had to pay off. He
My humble respects.
lives here. How you doing, buddy? So let me just catch a couple winks of shut-eye here. I think we need to go to the thing during the daytime. Shoot. We're not going to be able to get it up high enough, I don't think. We haven't done like a full night's sleep in a long time, so we really need to do that. We don't want to get ourselves into a bad position. But yeah, we're going to go talk to Master Vavak. Obviously, we have the perfect...
I'd sooner see hell freeze over.
the perfect blackmail on him. He's gonna be upstairs in this building. Oh, this is the bathhouse. No. It's not our normal bathhouse, but it is a bathhouse. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
We need to wash
You've
up.
come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the city council assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want?
He wants
And
Sigismund to
tell
stay
the
in there.
truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
You're
Have
risking your head if you
forgotten I
don't
have
tell
you
me.
over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
He wants Sigismund to stay in
right,
power so he can.
right. Maybe we can make a deal. If
Keep
I
trying to
get
steal
you into
from
the
him.
council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me.
We both have a
And
lot
that
to
will
lose
be
here.
the end of our business together.
I must have misheard you. Our collaboration is only just beginning. Quill warrior.
Are you deaf, you impertinent pup? I repeat, I'll get you to the assembly, and there ends our business. Over and done with.
All right, have it your way. So,
You can
Thought I
get
was a
into the
big
council
Batman on
assembly
campus. We had the wrong
relatively
outfit on.
easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
Okay.
What
So
will
you're
I
gonna be
need to
posing
work
as a waiter?
there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Okay.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
So the Tin Hen or the Tailor?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
I mean, I don't think he really has a lot of firm ground to stand on to be telling me anything besides yes sir, no sir, because he would be insta-beheaded, but I guess guy's got some balls. Okay, so we need to go find him. Looks like he's going to be at the Tailor, or I think there is a bar around here too. Tailor, I think, is in the second. It's not her, never mind, just kidding. She's a traitor.
You smell nice.
Thank you, appreciate it. Where? Oh, this is the Tailor. No, that's a... The Tailor's never here. She's supposed to be right here, but she's literally never here. I always try to sell stuff to her. Beggar. I thought that was going to be him right there. Could be at the pub, too. I don't think that's where it wants us to search, though. I think it's back here. Going to be a younger guy. Townsman. This guy, the drunk guy? Nope. Dang it. I'm going to try waiting an hour, maybe. Let's see if anybody pops up.
May God give you health, sir.
His name was what? Franta or something? This guy looks noble. Are you him? Townsman. Dang it. Not gonna lie, this is a very frustrating quest. I have... I'm just going around waiting an hour at a time trying to look for this guy, and it's not happening. Well, in that case, there's only one thing left to do. Wait until 5 a.m. And, oh, they're not open right now. Just kidding. We're not going to lockpick that. We got to wait till they open up, I guess. We'll wait a couple more hours. I'm not sure what time the bathhouse opens. I thought it was kind of a 24-hour type thing. I guess we can go at 7. And I am in need of some services here. Just a little morning romp for me here, please. How you doing?
My body is in need of rest and relaxation.
And what are you interested in, sir?
I mean,
I'd like a pretty girl to take care of all my needs.
I think it cleans
Don't
our clothes too. I'm not sure.
Once my girls get their hands on you, you'll forget all your sorrows. At least for a little while.
It better.
Can't wait.
22.9 gross, and it's the best
Wonderful.
deal in the business.
You'll
Thank
see.
you, Madam
You'll be happy
Beata, or
to
whatever
come
the heck
back
your name
here.
is. 3 hours later, we're going to be fresh, ready to go. We're going to have some extra confidence, and we should have some clean clothes and fully...
Don't be afraid to tell me what you
City
want
Council will
next
be
time.
convening soon.
There's no need to be
Better
embarrassed.
get a move on.
Oh my goodness, we finally found him. Franta Cooldown.
God bless you, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry.
Handsome chap.
I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am.
Looking to take your job,
What's
but
it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for
have
you.
a couple drinks.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I should have put perfume
I
on.
want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly.
We need to be there.
The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset.
We got a
Show
nice
the
outfit on.
confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Dude, he's
Yes,
serving
sir,
the
my
king
friend.
and he's randomly giving that job up to a stranger. That feels like a really bad idea, sir. But, all right, so I guess we're going to be reporting for duty, which is literally going to be right next to us. Over in here, maybe. We're probably going to want to put this stuff on. So let's switch to our naked outfit, and we're going to want to take everything off of that. We don't have any weapons or anything selected. Probably want to take the pouches and belts and even the torch off. The torch is probably okay. But then we're going to put on the Royal Waiter hat, the Royal Waiter coat, and then I'm assuming hose of a Royal Waiter. And then for shoes, we definitely want some shoes. The nicest shoes that we have in terms of charisma, I would think, which is going to be these burger shoes. Oh boy. The Major Domo.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming. What's wrong with him?
Sick, hurt, drunk, praying in the church. We did hear he's a big drunk.
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door.
Shame on him.
I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are?
Sir,
For
yes, sir.
an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
I feel like honesty is the best policy sometimes.
I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there.
Like a
But
shadow.
When one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all.
None for
when
Adam.
He drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions.
So we got to be
And
on
in
our
general,
game here if
a
we were to
good
get the most
waiter
info
has to be
possible.
Invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Everything?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous. I didn't mean to lose reputation there.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
This is going to be fun.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Kuttenberg City Council. Morning.
The city reserves
There are the
are
pictures
in
of wine.
urgent need of new weapons.
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Our current Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the
No
army
pressure
was
here.
requisitioning from
Hey,
it.
waiter, pour me
Should
some
the town
Tokai.
reserve have
So
worse
Kahi,
weapons
that's the,
than Räuber in the domain?
The white,
What are you
I
getting
believe.
at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the
guy?
bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used
Sorry?
that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Thank you, waiter.
Hand cannon.
You're welcome.
Can you believe it?
Good
Where
glass
did
there,
they
sir.
get them?
You're the one who should know where they got
Put this
them.
back and let's just
Since you're a
stand out of the way.
gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herr God. It is eine Schande when outlaws have
All the
better
dogs
weapons
have got
than
under
the
the
city
tables.
garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
Waiter, get
What
me
I
white.
smell is that your
Adam of Zarzhitz?
do not realize
Sorry,
what
buddy.
Sorry, sir.
Schwierigkeiten this is.
Orders from above.
The Dry
This is
Devil
unbelievable.
running free. There are Raubricker everywhere
Listen,
in the region.
if I could
We
sneak
have
you
the
one, I would.
army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with
Dry
a few
Devil.
rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to
Tokai,
fight?
and a full
cup. The merciful King
Tokai's the
Sigismund
white.
is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König
This
and
is so
his
cool,
army
dude.
will not be here forever.
Which guy? This one?
up!
Sir?
The king can arrive at any moment. What if
This
he
would be a pretty good job.
What then?
Being able to
We're
hear
sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom.
everything
and
that's
we're
happening in the-
supposed to defend it with
the country.
brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
We could not steal it from the king, Vavak.
I'm more than familiar with the Yemenish state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well.
So they're low on weapons.
Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe
a good
we
boy,
can
just
change
sleeping
his
right
mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
Big fan of those.
Baths or brothels.
I fancy some Tokai. Refill, boy.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to oblige.
So, the cleanliness of the city
This is
not
unbelievable.
what it should be.
Bro is thirsty.
Current baths in the city fall far short of covering all
Yeah.
the citizens'
More
needs.
wine, Master
right,
Bailiff.
Jerome.
I have enough.
But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Perfect.
Certainly, sir. I'll be right back.
I mean,
Come
we're
back with it straight away, understood?
There, a man can shave and take a you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
I'm gonna
Have you
miss some
forgotten
really
the
important
black-
conversations. We gotta hurry. It's in here.
A great many people died.
In his office. Silver goblet. Silver
Are
goblet.
you
This.
questioning God's
Stolen cup.
plan? The black
nice.
jet had nothing to do with the
New
baths.
silver might be.
Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on
Got
in
it,
there.
sir.
So, did you find it?
I did.
Hopefully nobody asked for one. He did tell us to do anything they asked, though.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Arguing
Sir,
about
yes,
the
sir.
same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally
Like
admit
nothing ever
it's
happened.
a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle. Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats,
This is so cool.
slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense!
This is what
Next,
government was like.
You'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free.
Because bathing in wine is
Why
the
not?
same thing.
In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
I
But
fancy
as
some
we know,
Tokai. Refill,
Gunslin
boy.
absolutely
So Kai, he
hates
got
it.
you. That's going to be the
He
white.
can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage.
One
Ulrich,
red. I like
what
that
have
they
you
raise
got
their
to say
hand. You can
about
kind of
it?
tell. Sometimes it's a little hard, but
I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident.
just a bunch of
You
guys
were
getting
there,
drunk,
weren't you?
Oh,
making decisions for the public
just a
that
small
don't necessarily
misunderstanding. We've sorted it
have
out
the
and
best
everything's
interest in mind for the
My
public.
ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending
Rather
Rutard?
for themselves.
Besides, if his men attacked
Tokai,
yours, as
and a
I've
full
heard,
cup.
then
Sir,
we
yes,
have a
sir.
good
Got
reason
you.
to punish him.
Everyone's liking the white
What
right
happened
now.
there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Thank you,
I
waiter.
heard there were
Gotcha.
several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause
I fancy
any
some
trouble.
Tokai.
He is sensible
Refill,
enough
boy.
not to draw attention to himself. while
Probably
drinking.
could have told me that before I set it down.
That's
I was
true,
just with your table mate,
Because
but
if we don't
here you
do
go, sir.
something about him, the
Oh,
king himself
wrong
will
person.
put an end to him,
Oh,
and soon.
wrong person.
Unless he puts an end
Sorry.
to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
Well,
If
thank the
nothing
Lord.
happens,
Sounded like it was
there's
coming
no
from
point in
the other
dwelling
guy.
on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect
He looks so
the
bored. I
gentleman
feel
from the
so
city's
bad.
sword fighting
I'd
school
like some
brought this
monastery
custom to
wine.
us.
Refill my cup, boy.
Is that Vavak talking to us? I know you ain't talking, buddy.
Don't be ridiculous,
Sorry?
Sucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself.
Don't hang
As
around
a
me.
huge
Vanish, you hear me?
swordsmaster Without a shred of
Nice to see you too, buddy.
We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences
What's up?
are
Refill,
punished
sir.
by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to
gosh.
deal with.
More pressing.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and
I saw
forgot
him
to take
earlier.
them. I can't just get up and walk out now, but if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored, and because I told you. Get on with it.
Okay, so this guy's on a power trip.
I threw out
They're right
everyone who
here,
complains over
I
a
think.
beer. I'd soon
Some
be
lambskin gloves. This guy is nice. Okay,
And he wants
figures
you
with
to count the winged figures.
wings like this. 1, 2. Does that count as 3, maybe? 3 so far. Oh gosh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We probably have to do this fast, don't we? 13. I don't know how many of these count. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's got to be hidden ones too. It's got to be above 19. It should give us some options, right? I just don't want to be late.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
Got some gloves.
Found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them.
They're quite
Did
a color.
You count those winged figures?
Yeah, there's oh gosh, 16, 22, or 24. I'm gonna
I
guess
counted 24,
the
sir.
most.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
Yes, the eternal dispute over
Receive some groschen from him. Appreciate it, buddy.
The church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to.
Oh yeah, we didn't get those two there. Okay.
cup of white.
Just a village with a monastery.
Nice big cup of white. I got you. As long as your name isn't Adam.
Hire more craftsmen. Start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something
good so
other than the
far. We're doing
welfare
a
of the
good
city
job.
behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would
you doing?
that be?
Like,
Sucks serving
for
these guys,
instance,
doesn't it?
That you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses,
And
gentlemen.
a full cup.
That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my
guys
friend.
drink
Your
like
place
frickin'
is at least
fish.
2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Missed the cup there, but
Excuse me.
we'll
You
take
wanted
it.
to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services
gonna keep going back to this
our
spot 'cause
guild
that's where they put us
provided
originally.
You there,
and still
lad,
provides
a cup
to
of
the
red.
crown.
And don't you skimp on me.
I hope you're not supplying equipment to the
Why are
army.
these guys acting like we
That's
skimped on
all
them at any point?
They would
It's
be
we've
defeated
been
by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells
very helpful.
from the alehouse on Obrink.
What
Sir?
ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers
Also, he
of
had white
theirs,
before
of
too,
course.
right? He's
Thank
switching
you.
things up.
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has
Really
all
lucky they
been
haven't asked us to
sorted
remember
out.
what people were drinking. That would have
Not
been a
long
good.
ago, the guards
minigame.
raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Oh. Is that the king's chair?
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle
Get in the corner. King Sigismund. And Von Auschwitz, or whatever his name is. Bow. Don't look him in the eyes. Even the dog's at attention. Oh my god, bro. If you spill this, beheaded.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of false!
I mean, I've always lived my life. If you're nice to servers and waiters, you're a pretty good guy. So, anyway. Meanwhile, at Raborsch, the party we weren't invited to. Viva la Revolution.
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujitz parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches,
my guy,
and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to
Man's
the older
needs
and
comes
wiser.
first.
And dollar.
I love it.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Raborsch.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Oh. All right, change in perspectives here. Gonna have to entertain our guests. Oh. Zhishka's a little turned up. Who did you want me to talk to? A couple different people. I guess we've got a rabbi over here. Talk a little business.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we
That
have
makes
to come
three of
here,
us.
Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need.
Smart man.
And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction.
We can agree on one
You
thing.
have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Oh, we've met.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place.
My guy Godwin.
For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one.
Is he our long-lost brother?
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Henry.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children.
Wait, what's Henry's dad's name?
At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough.
That must have been the first
I'd
game.
rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
A drinking priest. All right. Interesting. Okay. We've got Hans here. Don't need to talk to him. Let's see who else we want to talk to. Looks like they might be over in this room. Vaquelin Brabant.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
He's such a nice guy, but he's so full of it.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Baron!
How did you end
let's
up
get his
in prison
backstory
in
here.
Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Kuttenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
The last time was at Nabokov. And I'd be happy not to have to repeat it.
Ah, indeed. I have heard it was a very unequal fight.
That's a fact. No one was expecting von Bergau to turn up with that diabolical invention.
Diabolical, perhaps. But in my opinion, it shall be the future of warfare.
We need to get
perhaps
one of our
one day the generals will
ourselves
sit
on a
back
finger of
drinking
God.
wine, while such devices shall wage war for them.
Do you reckon the defense of Kuttenberg would have gone better if you had them?
Yeah.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire.
This is
and
Gilderoy
if you are
Lockhart,
interested
dude.
in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life
Either that
of
or the most
King of
interesting man
France.
in the world.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Sure. I'm not going to be rude. It wouldn't be kind to be rude. Let's just keep things on the up and up. Whole gang's here.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We've
We
got
don't
money
have
now.
men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Okay, so we need a unison here. This is going to be up to Godwin, isn't it?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
So I'll just have some drinks and take a vote, and whatever happens, happens.
Went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain...
So we want to fight.
...shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there.
And then we'll
For
attack.
the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge.
So we're going to pretend to agree with Jobst while also preparing for
war. The whole
war.
thing was his idea. We'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botschek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day.
So we're going to charm them up.
I'll take care of Jobst.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botschek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Okay. And Anna?
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow.
But she's got some
don't trust
fire.
appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna get on it.
I'll get on it then.
So gonna
Wish me
convince
luck.
these 3 people.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Lot writing on this.
Success to our plans.
Gonna have to use that information where we can and just hope for the best, I guess. So we've got Anna, Haman,
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
and Botschek.
I'll drink to that.
Botschek?
Not even Botschek, and he's a great lord.
Haman Alder.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
How you guys doing?
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again.
Good to see you too, Dad.
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Alder.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Bet.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Oh, shoot.
We'll just settle a very private matter.
Okay.
It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Cover your right
Beautiful.
side.
Not bad for a priest.
There, I can drive a car through. Smile, you fuck, while you've still got teeth.
So I wanted to point this out. I wasn't sure if it was going to work because we're obviously playing as Godwin instead of Henry, but I did get, I think it's in speech. We got battle cries. So when you use a battle cry during combat, you deal 10% more damage for 20 seconds. I also got Dreaded Warrior. If you use a battle cry during combat, not only will it give you courage, but it'll also put fear into your enemy's veins. As a result, their morale will decrease. They're more likely to run, give up, or just generally find it harder to fight you.
Stand fast. Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your arse.
Christ!
Just like in Kosovo.
Shit!
Charge and no mercy.
So I'm going to keep using the battle cries there.
Son of a bitch!
As much as we can.
Left arm lower.
He's just not ready, dude.
That was sneaky. Ha! No chance.
Just not even close to the same ballpark here.
Not just your wrist.
He got us there. Shoot. My bad. We're going to be fine. Got him back there.
Do that in the seminary.
Not at my sword.
Another one.
With your
Ooh.
lips.
That will do.
Interesting.
My God.
Speaking of different
Where did you learn to wield a sword like that?
tone now, huh,
Father always
Christopher?
said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to
I
know
wish we would have
yourself.
played the first game.
Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well,
I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder.
Can you help me out?
I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right.
I don't think we have a choice.
You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
I love it. Bringing the family back together, baby. All right, appreciate it. Let me make sure we put this away. So that's taken care of. Even gained a new friend, family member for ourselves. Now we want to talk to N. Where's N at? Somewhere in here?
Exactly why we mustn't push too
For
hard.
good health!
Botschek of Kunstadt.
I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
That's not what I'm here for.
I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Doesn't that seem to you a little... cowardly?
If you hesitate to kiss a bear's ass, is that cowardice or sound judgment? I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family.
Let's try to call him out.
I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Use your daughter as a pawn,
A
smart.
suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Oh. Oh. Liechtenstein, me, or young Capon? I feel like this one's not right. I feel like we know Capon the best.
Young Lord Capon.
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears.
And his legs.
He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs.
Okay, so we chose the wrong one.
On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Oh.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Okay, I feel kind of bad because I feel like we haven't seen this girl. We don't know anything about her. I'd hope we didn't just sell Hans out. Hanush of Lipa.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy
You willing to
tidings.
marry off your
You
son
do?
to a random chick?
Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
I love how
You
Capon doesn't have
arranged a
any
marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
any say in
With
this.
the niece of Sir Botschek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Have we seen Yitka?
Botschek of Kunstadt?
Sounds
The
familiar.
Botschek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard.
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe
Oh, he's happy.
So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sasa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we? Cheers!
That's just so sad.
Cheers to you.
But that's how it worked back
and
in the
to your
day.
parlaying skills.
We should have offered ourselves. It might not matter. People might end up dying. Who knows? Okay. So I guess we probably have to go tell him that that worked out.
Sir Botschek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
He's down.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's 2
Lord
out of
of
3.
Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
I'm gonna be knackered.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Ugh. I just hate it. I understand it, but I hate it. There's no better way to form an alliance, you know what I mean? But like, geez. Here's to a good bargain. Okay. What was the last one? We get the support of Anna of Waldstein. Despite all the gossip about her husband's untimely death, she maintains a reputation as a clever woman of her own right, as well as a savvy deal maker. Anna of Waldstein. Is there any Anna in here? No. Everyone else was just Anna, Christina, Helena, Matilda, Anna, servant Dasha. Where would she be up top? Everyone else had an objective on them. She might be Anna of Waldstein.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Did you kill your husband?
Diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margaret
Undermining
Yost's
Jobst.
plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people,
Flattery, baby,
but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers.
She's hard to please.
So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Wealth needs protection.
It's not only your money we're interested
Compliment her.
in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Dude, she's a
Do you have
shark.
something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Godwin and Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
Oh boy.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
So we're gonna have to
Alder
sneak these
will
papers
surely
out? We're gonna have to
the papers in
pickpocket
his
them?
saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Okay, so they're in his saddle. Forged documents about Anna Waldstein. She's... I don't trust her at all. Okay, so his saddlebags are going to be in the shed in the outer courtyard, which is going to be in there. We're going to watch out for the grooms, stable masters. Just going to sit here, nothing to see. Is there like a... Let's see, just hanging out. I don't really know how to get this guy to move. I'm assuming he's not going to want us walking in there, so we're just waiting on him. Maybe if I go around the corner, throw a rock. What's up, man? We got an issue.
Aren't you a bit bored?
I'm going to try talking
What's
to
your
him.
problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
So we do have a new perk that tells us how hard it is. I don't think we're going to be able to get that.
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Well, that was easy enough. Switch papers. Shut the door. Should I actually go play dice with him, or...
How's it going?
I feel like we probably need to play dice, to be honest. Otherwise, I think he could get upset. Know that we were up to something otherwise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 750. Beautiful. All right, we're going to score and pass. Halfway there. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. We need to play some more dice. I want to get some better options. He's... Oh, my God. He just beat me.
Wonderful! And it goes to me.
No. At least we didn't have to waste much time, but that is a little bit unfortunate, so we can go back up top and we'll let her know that everything's been taken care of.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected.
And just like that, she's going to offer all of her money?
You're welcome.
I think she wanted it anyway.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words
I think
and
she finessed us. She was going to do that no matter what.
God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I mean, you boys. An experienced gentleman. All right. Talk to Liechtenstein about the arranged support. Is this him? Yeah.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring
3 for
nothing
3
from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Botschek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
Says the ghost.
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
There it is.
And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
We've got a plan.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Oh no. I hope she's cute.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Dude, I've got chills. Let's go. You got a plan? This storyline has been so ridiculously good. I feel like we're just scratching the surface too. You can still have winches, bro. It's not a big deal. Not gonna change anything for you. Just gonna have something at home to make some meals and birth some children, right? Meanwhile, back at Kuttenberg. Back with Sigismund.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
It doesn't always work.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
Disgusting.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse...
Dwindling, you say,
the
Vavak?
miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect.
Oh boy.
He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors.
He's going to lose some support just on this
alone. You have 2
alone.
weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between
Now
the
we're
two of
serving...
us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them?
We're serving the
And
king.
Speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, Rightfully
We cannot mess this up.
These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year.
Sir,
we have
yes, sir.
concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here.
Did he want some?
Sides. Would we had a proper army?
I don't think so. I'm just gonna wait with the red.
They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year.
You're welcome, sir.
If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
Mostly
We'll
not yours.
find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end.
He's actively doing that as well.
This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
Sir, yes, sir.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities.
Get us a little bit closer.
And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret.
Would you like some, sir? You're looking a little parched over there.
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
Need some more, sir?
First, we need to crack down on the biggest trouble.
What's crazy is we're going to kill you at some point, I hope.
While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raborsch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
Oh, no.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Raborsch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence.
Dude, we're going to have to get word to them immediately.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is.
Sure
Quickly.
thing.
If Raborsch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other countries.
Dude, they're bringing the finger of God to
Not so
Raborsch?
fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
What an absolute
It's a splendid
psycho.
idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
That's still a pretty cool moment, like, even if it's the enemy. Later that evening at Raborsch Fortress, von Bergov. And we're all drunk and fat and happy after coming up with the plan, and we're about to get attacked.